Hello, it's day 106 of van life, and I'm going to try to do a video every day in December. And I'm going to talk about one, just the normal van life stuff, but also some of the things that maybe you're a new van lifer and you're trying to figure out some things. Even though I'm pretty new to this, but after 106 days, I'm okay. Here's some things that I would do better, or some things I need, or maybe I have too much of. So today, I'm going to talk about, do you need a gym membership, for van life? A lot of van lifers will are out in the forest or whatever, and they don't shower for days or whatever, but eventually you need to shower. Eventually, it's nice to have a gym, and so no matter if you're more, in the forest versus more of the city life. So I'm going to talk about basically, do you need a gym membership, and some things to think about if you're going to go down that route of gym membership. And so I'm going to give you some options, some things I've learned. I already had 2 gym memberships. I had LA Fitness and Anytime Fitness before I chose van life, and I still have those. And so I'm going to kind of talk about some options, and then also, yeah, do you really need it? You do. I think you do. But I was in the military for a long time, and while I have had to be forced to be dirty for long periods of time, I'm kind of bougie now because I had that lifestyle. I'm like, I want a shower, I want a toilet, I want to be clean every day. That's just the way I am. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be, I'll be in the dirt. That's fine. Whatever. I can get dirty, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I just want to shower. And so that's why I think gym memberships are important. Okay. So I'm going to tell you some reasons why I think that a gym membership is good for van life. So first one would be showers. I know some people are out there in the forest for days, and it's almost like a badge of honor. Like, I haven't showered for 7 days. And I'm like, yeah, you probably smell, and you should get a shower. And you can go like a truck stop, or maybe in a park showers or whatever. But a lot of those like truck stops, they still cost money. And eventually you have to go into the city to get supplies and stuff like that. So wouldn't it be nice to have a shower? And the reality is, a lot of these memberships are 20-30 bucks a month, so they're really not a lot of money, and I feel like you get your money's worth. I know I get my money's worth. So I think showers is an important reason. The next one would be toilets. I see a lot of van lifers, especially ones who do their own builds, they don't really have a toilet, or they have like a compost. I got a cassette toilet, which is like the second probably best thing, I think. But I try not to go in it. If I'm mostly in the cities and stuff, I go where my gym membership is if I can, if I have the time. Because I'd rather use their facility, so I don't have to empty my cassette toilet. It's so much easier if I just go with them. And also, it's just nice to have a flushable toilet. No matter how much we rough it, like, I think most of us would just like a flushable toilet. I don't want to compost it. I don't want to burn it. I just want to flush it and forget about it. And so that's where I'm a little more bougie probably than the average van life person. All right, number 3 would be a water source. The gym I go to, or gyms, the back of the water fountain has a thing for your, like your giant Stanley cup. And so I can get filtered water. I actually have 2 now, and I put them in my backpack and I go there and fill them up. So I haven't bought water in like 2 months. And, I know some people are trying to look for free water sources, but like, I don't want to be searching all over to save $4. I'd rather just go to the gym and fill up. And so that's what I do. And I'm at the gym at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, depending on what I'm doing. And I think a gym is important, just to have that water source. So yeah, I haven't even bought water at least 6 weeks. All right, the next one would be exercise. I know, of course, if you're out in the forest, you can do trails and all that stuff, but you're not always in the forest, right? Or the desert. And so it's nice just to have a gym to work out in, because I am more in the city life. My first thing is I wake up, I go to the bathroom at the gym, and then I work out. It's already there. And so I think it's important, one, just of course, exercise, however it is, you're right. You don't need a gym to exercise, but it is nice when you have that equipment right there. You don't have to be as creative. You can just go knock it out and not have to, lift a tree branch in the woods to get a workout or whatever. So exercise would be one. And then the next one, I would just like TV. Maybe you just miss having a TV. Maybe you don't have internet or whatever. So you're on the treadmill, you can watch a little bit of television. That's kind of a small one, but sometimes nice just to see what's going on in the world while you're exercising. Another one would be internet. The gyms I use, some of them you can get parked really close, and you can get that Wi-Fi. You can get the Wi-Fi, of course, in there. Sometimes they'll have little tables where you can get Wi-Fi, but also I park close enough, depending on where the offices are, and I can get free Wi-Fi. I do have a Wi-Fi option, but why not take the free stuff, right? And it works well. I'm able to watch Hulu. I can watch, anything I want to watch on their Wi-Fi. As long as I got a power source, I'm good. And so the internet's another good thing. I think another good reason to have a gym membership, if you have like a 24-hour gym, sometimes you're like trying to figure out where to boondock in the city, And if you have a 24-hour gym, I mean, you could technically use any parking lot of a 24-hour gym, but like mine, I'm like, they're expecting people to be there 2 in the morning working out. And so if you need a quick spot, you can go there and, be discreet and get your quick boondocking done for like a day before they realize, what you're up to. So I like it also for that reason. I've used that once or twice. And then also just number 8, let's say a place to charge your electronics. Maybe you don't have that battery chargeable pack or whatever. And so it's a good place to do it. I put my backpack, I'll put my laptop or laptops in there, and then I'll just have the cord sticking out. And then when I'm on the treadmill, I will just plug it into the wall next to me. And so while I'm working out, it's charging. And so, or when I'm in the bathroom, shower, whatever, I plug in my razor. And so I'm using their electricity, not mine. I'm trying to save money as I do this. So I'd rather use that gym membership, use all their facilities, use less of my money. All right, let's talk about some factors when you're choosing a gym. Maybe you're new to this. First of all, I'd say try to figure that out before you get into van life, but you could do that, of course, after or during. So number 1 would be the contract length. What kind of contract? The gym I have had a 2-year contract initially, and some of them, it's a lot shorter. It's a year. So I would definitely pay attention to that, because maybe you find out you don't need that gym or you don't like that gym. So contract length's important. Number 2 would be, can you bring a guest? Because maybe there's 2 of you, and maybe you have this thing where you can bring a guest as long as you're with them. And so maybe you only have to pay for 1 versus 2. Or you meet someone along the way and you want to just work out with them, you have that option. So number 3 would be hours of operation. One of my gyms, I have 2 memberships. One is 24/7, it's open. So I can go anytime, and I have gone like 2 in the morning. And so, hours of operations I think are important, because maybe you go up at 4:30 and you want to use the bathroom and they don't open until 6, right? So then it really doesn't serve you a purpose. So I think the 24/7 is important, or at least something has, great hours. And then number 4 would be Wi-Fi capabilities. Do they have great Wi-Fi? Can you actually use it in the parking lot nearby if you had to? But I know most of them have Wi-Fi capabilities, but just do they have good Wi-Fi capabilities, I guess would be the answer. All right, number 5 would be parking lots. Do they have good parking lots where you could boondock, or just a safe area, right? I would say also their locations, do they tend to have good locations, safe locations? I think of like a Whole Foods. You don't really see Whole Foods in bad neighborhoods. You usually see them in upper class, more expensive neighborhoods. So they tend to be, it just feels at least generally safer. And so maybe, where's your gym at, and then I would say number 6 would be short-term boondock options. Like I had said earlier, it's just nice if you can stop somewhere, you're driving, you're like, I need a spot. You're like, oh, my gym's right over here. It's 24/7. So I probably could get away with the boondock for one night. And then number 7 would be gym equipment, if that is important to you. Most of them have the basic things, smaller things, but some of them are bigger gyms, right? And so, or maybe you're really into swimming, but that gym doesn't have swimming. So, what matters to you? For me, as long as I have the basic stuff, I can figure it out. I don't need a hot tub and stuff like that. It'd be nice, but it's not worth it if they don't have as many locations as, say, the one that doesn't have a pool. All right, now let's talk about the best gyms for membership for van life. Now, this is just my list, but if you haven't tried some of these gyms. So Anytime Fitness, that's my number 1. That's what I use the most. I do have 2 gym memberships. The other one's LA Fitness, and that's just because I had it before, but I'm probably going to get rid of it and get one of the other ones. But I'm like, why? Sometimes I'm like, I should have 2, because it is so cheap per month that I can actually have 2, and then I'll cover it everywhere. But with Anytime, 1, they're open 24/7. To me, that's the best thing. They have private bathrooms with showers and then outlets in the bathroom. So like just the fact they have privacy, I like that. So 1, I can take my time. I don't feel so rushed. And then like I said, I can charge all my stuff. I don't have to worry about having a key to a locker. It's just all right there. And I will say also, because it is a smaller gym and you have private and it's unisex, I feel like it's just cleaner than the bigger gyms. It's like people care a little bit more about their cleanliness and not leaving a mess. And so, but also the Anytime Fitness is located in all 50 states, Mexico, and Canada. So it's very hard to not find one. The only place I've had trouble is like New York City area. They just don't have a lot of commercial gyms. And, also with Anytime Fitness, it's cheap, under $30 a month. I said mine required a 2-year commitment, but that was a long time ago, so that might be different now. Another good thing with Anytime Fitness, they usually have like a little area that you can actually sit at a desk. or table and do Wi-Fi, get your internet if you really wanted to. But I'm able to most Anytime Fitness park really close. And I kind of pick where the office is for the manager, because that's usually where the modem is. And so I'm able to get Wi-Fi most places if I'm within like 20 to 30 feet. And so, yeah, that's the way I go. Like I said earlier, 24/7, so you can boondock there and probably get away with it no matter where it's at least for one night, because there are people there that work out late and early, and so you can kind of blend in and not, make it too obvious. Another thing I like about Anytime Fitness is all their water fountains on the back have the place where you can fill up your Stanley cups, filtered water. So I have two of them, regular size and a little bit bigger. I put them in my backpack. I don't think they care, but I just try to be discreet when I do these kinds of things. And so I go fill them both up. And I do that in the morning, and sometimes they're at night because maybe I'll use the bathroom or the shower. And so I just fill it up again, and it's in my backpack, so it's discreet. And I haven't had to buy water, the last 6 weeks or so. And so it's enough water for me, because I don't shower, like in my van and stuff like that. Okay, another thing I like about Anytime Fitness is that it is open 24/7, means I can work out anytime I want. I can go when it's less crowded, right? It's maybe not crowded at 11 p.m. or 4 in the morning, whatever your schedule's like. Also, maybe if you're using it a lot of times because you're using it as the bathroom, they're not going to be workers there 24/7. There's a lot of time where they're not there, usually early morning, late night. So you can go in there multiple times to maybe get a little bit more water, and they're not wondering why you're in so many times. So I like to go a lot of times when no one is there. I don't know. It's just something I prefer. Another thing I like about Anytime Fitness, it really doesn't get crowded like I feel like the big gyms do. So, and so one, there's not a lot of waiting for equipment. Two, because it is open 24/7, you can kind of pick and choose, like, oh, I like a less crowded time, or I like when there's a lot of people around. But you're not really waiting for equipment, I feel like, in Anytime Fitness. I can't remember ever waiting for equipment. And they have everything you need, minus like a pool. Now, I think another good choice is Planet Fitness. They are not open 24/7, so that's where Anytime has the advantage, but they are in all 50 states, Mexico, Canada. If I had a second one, it would be Planet Fitness, and I may switch from LA Fitness to Planet Fitness, so I'm covered everywhere. And so they have that. And so all 50 states, Mexico and Canada, they have a membership, I think a black card. I haven't had them in a while, but it was before my van life. But, it's like, I feel like the next step up as far as size of a gym. They seem pretty clean when I was there. They have those extra amenities like the massage chair, hydro massage, like tanning booths and stuff like that. So if that's what you like, so I feel like Anytime or Planet Fitness is a good option also. Another one that could be good is 24-hour fitness, because they are 24 hours, like I said. But I will say their limitation is they are not every state. So I feel like they're more in the middle region. But so you do have that. So if maybe it was a secondary one, but I wouldn't use it as a primary one just because they're not everywhere. Another one I think a lot of people don't think about is YMCA as an option too. They tend to be in the normal sized cities, and they're usually pretty clean and a pretty reasonable price. That might be more of a secondary option. I feel like Anytime Planet Fitness would probably be a good number one if you're going to go with two options. Another thing too is you're trying to figure out, most of them have free trials. I know YMCA, you can get a 1-day trial. A lot of these have like week or month trials. So go do all the trials, figure them out, and figure out all the details before you get on the road. I mean, you can do it on the road too, but just figure out what works for you. And then also try to get a membership in your hometown too, because a lot of times if you're going to cancel it, you have to go back because they all make it difficult, right, to cancel a membership. Now, a more extreme option, if you're not caring too much about the money, is if you're going to be certain. Some people just stay in their, don't travel much, right? They're just because they have maybe a job, so they stay in one area. So if I was going to say California or New York, I would consider this option, and it's Equinox. It is expensive. It's $200 to $300 a month. But if you've ever seen more, you can look them up. They are amazing looking, and they have a lot of them in like California and New York and kind of big cities here and there. But those are the two main hubs. So if you're, say, working in New York or California, yeah, $200, $300 is a lot of money, but they're really fancy. Just really nice amenities. You have everything you could ask for. Also, they usually have great places for you to work too. So if you want to get out of your van more, that might be a good place because they have a really nice place. They even have restaurants and stuff connected too. So that's probably more extreme. Maybe you don't want to spend that money, right? But if you're not traveling too much, that's an option actually, but you are going to get a year contract. But if I was going to stay in California where I started originally, I would actually probably do Equinox because there's like 15 of them in that general area and they all look amazing. All right, so that's it for day one. If I do all 30 days, so basically, hopefully that helped at least you figure out if you need a gym membership and what's the best options. Yeah, I don't think I would do van life if I didn't have a gym membership. It's my food, not my food. It's my water, my shower, my mental health. Working out, and it's my bathroom. So like that to me is the most important thing of van life is having that gym membership.